Hi, I'm Jim Wurtson. I'm 71 years old. About a little over 2 months ago, beginning of November of 2013, I was working on the side of my house, attempting to cut some bushes back. I had put a very heavy, it's a ladder, but it's a ladder that goes up. You can climb up either side. I was up on about 6 feet off the ground, but I was in an area where I could only put the ladder sideways. So I had to work off the side of the ladder. I was standing on both sides of the upper part, and as best I can figure, as I was cutting something up over my head and it cut, I somehow leaned in the wrong direction. The ladder went one way, I went the other way. I think I went about 3 feet backwards, but I must have been going at a pretty fast speed because I crashed into the house and then slid down the house, and the impact broke my collarbone. I went to the emergency room and they put me in a restricting sling type thing. Luckily, as I was leaving, they said that Dr. Hosalkar would like me to make an appointment for Tuesday to talk with him, that he'd come by and looked at my x-ray, very luckily. And so I made an appointment. My wife and I went in to see him, and he explained that my collarbone had broken in 4 places, and that I had noticed that the collarbone on this side was sticking out. What had happened was the 3 pieces of collarbone on this side had gone underneath the other one. And he said if I simply stayed in that brace that they had put me in the emergency room, it would heal in such a way that my shoulder would be, as it was then, 2 inches below the other shoulder, and that I would not have very much range of motion in my left arm, and that I would probably have a good bit of discomfort from all these muscles being pulled in the wrong direction. He said I looked like, for 71, I looked like a fairly young 71 and someone who wanted to be active, and that if I wanted to be active I would need to have that operated on and put back in place, that he would put, I guess it's a titanium rod, I'm not sure, and some screws in there, and put it all back in place. Looking at the x-ray, it was clear immediately that that's what I needed to do. We did it. Operation was 3 weeks later. He said it would be an hour maybe of operation, and that I might have to stay overnight, but he would judge that at the time. I came in early in the morning. I was operated on, and he came and saw me and told me I could go home around 2 in the afternoon. I went back to see him 10 days later. I had had a loose sling that I kept my arm in for most of the time, and he took the bandage off, and I was utterly amazed at how those stitches were on the inside, and nothing had to be removed or anything, and it looked very good. And he said that in public I should wear the sling so that I wouldn't get bumped into, but in private I could take it off at home, which I did, and I was immediately able to use this arm. It got fine so that I could do things with it. After, I'd say, a month and a half after the operation, I replaced a 3-foot square in the ceiling of my oldest son's mother-in-law's kitchen, and I was able to hold the pieces up and work on them, and I've been able to do everything. I've got pretty much full range of motion. It's now a little over 2 months since the operation. I've got full range of motion. But the only thing I can't do is I've got this itch in my back and I can't quite get up high enough. It kind of doesn't quite move there yet. I've got to loosen that muscle, I guess, up, stretch that muscle out a little bit to get down to where that itches. Other than that, I've been able to do everything fine. The operation was wonderfully successful, and I'm very thankful that the doctor said that I needed to have the operation, that I got it, and that I'm in good shape now. And I thank him very much.